13. Joe, you ready for some NFL action? Still bye weeks, I think, this week and next week, and then we are off to the races.
Absolutely. I'm excited for today. I think we've got some great games on the card.
It's odd because we have this 18-week schedule and 18 weeks season and 17 game schedule. So I'm still not sure what making the playoffs looks like anymore. You know, it's like you knew that before, like 9-7, 10-6 kind of put you on the border, but now there's an extra playoff team and whatever. So teams have more to play for, and you won't see as much maybe tanking or whatever. But what you're seeing is with the longer season, you're gonna see a lot more injuries. We know that. So all that
absolutely,
stuff to take
we
into
will.
consideration. But we've got a whole bunch of cappers with us today. Sunday is our biggest show of the week as far as guests. And James Clark is going to be our first guest today. So we'll just get it started right out of the gate here with James. Good morning, James. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How are y'all this morning?
James Clark is going to be our first guest. Well, good. Someone's got their sound on, but that's good. Good, James. How's things treating you?
Pretty good. Started off of college football with 2 losses, but ended the day with 3 straight wins. So 3-2 day yesterday in college football. But overall, 5-5 day yesterday. But looking to bounce back today in the NFL.
Well, you seem to be hitting it hard in the NFL this season. What do you got going on today as far as a free pick?
The free pick I got going on today, I got the Washington Oakland game. Guys, you look at these two teams. Washington definitely, man. They've been come out playing football. Winning the last 3 games, and I like them today, guys. Here on the money line, I look for Washington to win their 4th straight game. In the Washington in the division they're in, they can make the playoffs easy. Dallas, we know how Dallas is. They can fumble anytime, lose any game, or anything. The Eagles ain't doing much, Giants ain't doing much. So, Washington's got a chance here to do something. And, I think they keep this momentum going, and I think they beat the Oakland Raiders today. You're getting plus 110 with a really hot team, and I really like the Washington football team today.
I call both these teams by their old names also, James. I know they're the Las Vegas Raiders now. I know some of our viewers will probably have something to say about that, but we all know what you're talking about. It's the Raiders. Like with Washington, I still call them the other name too, and the Eskimos, right? So it's like I'm not really sure. But, Joe, I know you've been on the Raiders a lot this season, but they started the season unbeaten, and now they're kind of I don't know. You just don't know what you're going to get. They beat the Cowboys. They lose to the, They lose to the Giants. I mean, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, these are 2 teams that I have been high on all season. Washington has done me so wrong. I really expected more out of them, especially defensively on the field. Huge loss losing Chase Young for this team. In this game, I think this total is a little low. I'm going to stay off the side because I do like both teams. I do want to see both teams come out, have a good showing. This total of 48, I think, is maybe 2, 3, 4 points too low. We see 2 defenses that are allowing quite a few points. Washington allows 25.5 points per game. The Raiders allow 26.8. Their offenses aren't averaging high, but I think against each other, we're going to see more points. Derek Carr, I like what we see out of this quarterback. He's thrown for 3,414 yards, 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, which will allow Washington to maybe get a defensive score here. And Taylor Heineke, we saw him in the last game. He's able to get that ball in the window. Not as good as Derek Carr, but I think he can get this ball moving down the field too. So give me the over in this one.
For me, I think the Raiders just have too many off the field problems. I think just start to add up after a while, and I think replacing John Gruden, it's like they probably had their season plan in place, and a lot of these plans for a lot of these games in place. But when you lose, Ruggs, that's a problem. And then they went out and got Deshaun Jackson, and now he's kind of now in the mode of replacing Ruggs. He's not quite as fast as Ruggs, but he's fast still. And, we saw him already contributing. So, that's helped a little bit, but it's like I said, just the inconsistency out of this team. It's just miserable. And, Washington, the Eskimos, I think that like they're playing, their best football of the season, even without Chase Young. Sometimes losing that guy kind of elevates your team. It's kind of like the Grizzlies, right? Without John Morant, it's kind of now they're playing defense all of a sudden, and they're winning games. So it's kind of like that same thing.
Another thing you got to look for with the Raiders here, a Waller. Carr's number one, target. He's tight end, but it's pretty much like a receiver. He's out today, so that's a third down guy. To get you across the line, get you that first down, keep you marching down the field, and he's not going to be on the field, man. That really hurts the Las Vegas Raiders here to do something. Even like I said, Washington defense is down, but they have stepped up and been playing a little bit better than what they was. And I like what you're saying, Joe, about the over. Like, I could see that both these teams going up and down the field scoring.
Absolutely.
Well, what else you got going on today, James?
That's my only pick today.
What are you selling at Pick Dogs?
Well, I got an all-day pass with the NFL and the NBA. You get 6 NFL games and 2 of my best NBA plays today. Or if you just want the NFL, you can just get a 6-pack of the NFL. Both of them are on the website there, Pick Dogs and Sports Chat's place. So you can get those, and if we go 6-0 football or 8-0 all together, upgrade 3, 7, or 30 days. Or like I say all the time, we got the best captains in the world. And we do by far. So team you up with any of them, it's on the show today or on the site, and we'll put some money in your pockets, fellas.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to come here. We know you have a busy schedule, so thanks for dropping in, and we certainly appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me on the show, Mitch, and I'll see y'all next week.
Best of luck today, James.
Thank you, Joe. Best of luck to everybody.
That was James Clark joining us here. Next, Joe, the Raiders, to me, it's like it just seems that, I know off-the-field issues are off-the-field issues, and, sometimes they work their way on and sometimes they don't. Yeah. But at a certain point, it's like when you're losing, first-round draft choice after first-round draft choice, that's when off-the-field affects on the field. And when you lose your head coach who, I think he's got equity in the team, right? So I don't understand how
I think so.
That exactly works. Yeah. I think they gave him equity to join the Raiders. I'm not sure if he had to give that back or if he still has equity or like.
Yeah, interesting to see how that played out. I still want to see
everybody else's emails out there. I still got to see them. Yeah. It's like they've kind of brushed it under the rug here, but it's like I need to see Urban Meyer's emails. It's like I just can't sleep until I see that.
Absolutely. I heard something about how the NFL really didn't want him in that position just because of how much money he was making, and it would raise everyone else's salaries. So that was an interesting take on all of this. We'll see how the Raiders do today. I'm optimistic for both of these teams. That's why I love the over in this one.
Okay. Well, next we'll bring in got so many people. Raise your hand back there if you got somewhere you got to go, so I can get you in order because we don't really have an order here. But not, we'll just bring in Kevin Thomas. He's always good in this in this second spot, right? So him and I usually disagree strongly, so we'll have to see what he's got to say today. Let's see.
Absolutely. And then if we can bring Sean Murphy in after Kevin, I saw his arm go flying.
All right, we could switch. We could bring Sean in now. Then that's fine.
Okay.
We'll bring Sean. We'll mix it. No problem at all. It's the beauty of live video. Let's see. And where is he? There he is. All right. No problem. And we welcome Sean Murphy, just like that, Joe. The magic of YouTube.
Absolutely. I love YouTube. Fantastic place to be every Sunday morning.
It is. I like it. It's like YouTube is our friend.
Absolutely. And I want to thank everyone who's watching right now. Lots of viewers up early on a Sunday morning to talk with us.
Absolutely. We appreciate each and every one of you. But
how are you doing today, Sean?
Good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing
Good.
good.
Thank you.
Been up for a while. We had our soccer show, of course, this morning. Our European football, right? That's what we call it.
That's right.
We had our show this morning. Our European football handicappers are absolutely crushing it. So, we have daily European football coverage now. Joe Madden on there. Joe, how do you feel about Chris, stepping in for you on the weekends? You feel like they're cheating on you maybe a little bit, or is this kind of...
No, not at all. Not at all. I absolutely love it. They're the stars of the show. So being a Vanna White for them is an honor, but Chris does it justice for sure.
Yeah, I've been on a couple of their videos too, so it's like I know exactly what you're saying. It's like kind of just you're just sitting there. They don't need us, I think that's what we're at.
They absolutely don't.
They just don't need us. But anyway, Sean, what do you got? What do you got cooking today?
Yeah, so the game I thought I'd talk about here today was the Colts and Texans. Not exactly one of the most exciting games on the board, but I think it's one where we can make some money on here. So this is the second meeting between these two teams this season. I had the Colts earlier this season in the first matchup, and it really was no contest. We saw Indy roll to a 31-3 win at home in that one. So now we have the game shifting to Houston, and we're dealing with a slightly lower point spread, and I just don't really get the move, to be honest. You look at the Texans, they don't have any sort of home field advantage really this season. I think popular belief was that their offense would get a bit of a boost when they got Tyrod Taylor back in place of Davis Mills, who was generally awful when he was in there this season. But Tyrod Taylor hasn't been very good this year. I mean, he doesn't have any weapons around him, so he's not all to blame here. But really, there's been no big difference between him or Mills on the field. So I just don't see why we would deal with a lower spread here. I think the Colts are coming off that big loss to the Bucs last week, so I can understand the kind of thinking that we might see a letdown here. But it's not all that different than the end of October when they lost a home game in overtime against the Titans, and then they had the short week. They came back at home and played against the Jets, and everyone kind of thought they may have a bit of a letdown there, but instead they put up, I think they got into the 40s in that game, played one of their best games of the season, and rolled to a win and cover there. So I think this is kind of a similar situation. It's just a good bounce back spot. I like the coaching on the Colts. I don't think they're the kind of team that we're going to see a big drop off in their playoff that loss to the Bucs. They need the win here, and I think they get it against a Texans team that just can't really do anything particularly well. And if they fall behind in this one, and they don't have the offense necessarily to come back. So I'll lay that big number. I think it's up to -10 now with the Colts, and we'll look for them to win this one in a blowout.
Joe, everyone knows, including my wife, how I feel about the Colts and that coach. But
yeah,
what do you think? What do you think of the Colts in this spot against the Houston Texans? I know that you have a futures bet, so you have some interest in this one.
Yeah, total interest. I need the Texans to be the worst team in the league. So that means the Lions have to start stepping up at some point this season, but it doesn't look very good for me. But I think in this situation, the Texans are in trouble. I see the Colts controlling the ball, playing a really strong run game, and we see a Texans team who cannot stop the run. I think the Colts are going to dominate in this one. I'm willing to lay that 10 points with them. They're 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 meetings against the Texans, and 8-0-1 against the spread in Houston, and 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 road games. I think this team is too strong. Off that loss, they're going to come out with a chip on their shoulder today and play a really hard game.
Those Colts. I mean, it's just miserable. They've just they've ruined my life, and I just can't let it go. It's like we saw it last week against the Bucs. They couldn't even hold them to the field goal to get the push. It was like just misery. And then the week before, what we've seen. So there's been 2 just abysmal coaching jobs done this year in specific games, and it's like I know I watch a ridiculous amount of games, and I also have a memory like an elephant, and it's a blessing and a curse. But the 2 worst coaching jobs in a game where it's really come back and bit their team is the Colts against the Jets, second half, and the Rams against the Texans, second half. These are two coaching jobs that came back and really bit their team. That one where the Colts against the Jets, yeah, they ended up holding on for the cover, and that's the day that my wife, filmed that video about imitating me watching a Colts game. But the thing is that when you take your foot off the gas of your team at any point, you're showing your team that they have the ability to play like that. And it's like, and that this is like, you get them, you're practicing all week to execute at the highest level. And then all of a sudden on the field during a game, you're telling your team not to. And the Colts did that. And I believe that's why they let up that touchdown last week against the Bucs, because they fully knew they were capable of letting up long touchdowns and long plays. And when they saw it crack open, they didn't even care. And we saw the Rams do it against the Texans, and they haven't won a game since. They were up gigantic against the Texans, and that genius of a head coach decides, we'll just tell our defense not to play anymore. They end up getting. I ended up getting a push. I think most people that had the Rams that game lost, but the Rams have not won a game since then. And you got Matt Stafford as your quarterback, you're not winning nothing. I'll tell you that much. So, anyways, I'm just so done with the Colts and Doug Peterson, another guy is so freaking smart. He comes from we're so smart coaching line of who's the rock star that got himself fired after winning the Super Bowl in Philly. I mean, Frank Reich is the coach of the Colts. He comes from the Peterson line. It's Peterson, who's just such a freaking genius. He's so much smarter than everybody else that it's like, 3rd and 16, down by 15 with a minute and a half left in the game. We'll just slam it into the line because we're a genius. It's like, what the hell are you doing? It's like, you're fired. That's what happens to these guys. I don't know.
I'm sorry I brought these guys up.
I'm so done. Those Colts. It's gonna be the worst beat ever.
Can I add that they're 9-2 against the spread off an ATS loss?
I know they are. I know that. Well, it's not the talent level of the team, and it's not anything like that. It's that coach. I told my wife does this video. You have to see it. It's like, I told everyone on my show what a dick this guy is. I got to go with the Texans on spite alone. Take the points. I think the Colts have more than enough manpower. We saw them do it again against Jacksonville, too. Yeah. I mean, they're the same freaking thing. It's like, let's just stop playing defense and let the other team cover. And I think 10 points is way too many.
I just think they're just going to eat up this clock too much for the Texans to stay tight. They're fifth in the league for time of possession.
They're going to kill them. They're going to beat them up and down the field. They're going to have all kinds of record-breaking yardage, and Taylor's going to be like, oh, man, what a great pick this was, and what a great guy he's just, and all this other stuff. And then those Colts.
Sounds like you like the over in this one.
I tell you what I don't like is Frank Reich. I hate him. I hated him at Maryland as a quarterback, and I hate him now. I was at the game where Miami was winning 38-0, and they beat us 41-38. It's like, he was the quarterback. Anyways, you got any other gems for us here, Sean?
Yeah.
You're like, let's move on from these.
They're coming over to take my blood pressure.
Premium plays today. I've got 3 NFL on the go. None of them involving the Colts and Texans game. And in addition to that, I've also got a big CFL total on the go. It's a semifinal weekend in the CFL up here in Canada. So I've got my playoff total of the year between the Riders and the Blue Bombers. That kicks off at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're looking for something else other than the NFL today, that's one play to check out. And I've also got a hockey play and an early NBA afternoon total this afternoon. So busy day ahead, and hopefully bounce back, because yesterday did not go well for me in college football, 1-4. So we'll look to bounce back today in the NFL and those other sports I mentioned.
That's all. Days like that are all part of handicapping, and if you pick every day, the guys that win every day or win every game or hit 80% winners or whatever, it's like They're not real people.
No. Correct.
As Greg,
we'll crush it today, Sean.
So the comment here, Greg Link, the quarterback can't be trusted and the coach can't be trusted, but the offensive line and Taylor should be able to control the game. No, they're going to control the game. That's the issue. That's the whole issue with this team. They will control the game from start to 8 minutes left to go. You know, is basically what will happen. And then all of a sudden,
last 8 minutes will be stressful.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's like, you know what? We're laying 10. It's like we're up by 17. You know, it all depends on the position and the official sports betting partner of the Indianapolis Colts, man. That's what it really depends.
That makes me sick to think. Yep.
Yeah, it's like Indiana. It's a state where sports betting is legal, so we'll have to see how this one goes. Anyways, Sean, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. I won't
fun.
Bring up the Colts again this season, I promise.
Unfortunately, I think they're going to be around.
It's entertaining, Sean. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Best of luck to everyone today.
Yeah, best of luck to you too.
Thanks.
Those Colts.
I can't wait to just post your rant about the Colts, Mitch. I'm gonna grab that out of here and post it all over our social media.
The thing is that they should very well win this game. I mean, they should crush them. Yep. They should win 45-0 this game. Yep. They should. I mean, they have nothing. He's right. Tyrod Taylor's been terrible.
Yeah.
We'll
see what happens. I really hope they come out, get that dominating win like I'm expecting. But I can hear you, that backdoor cover by the Texans. Very good chance of happening.
We'll bring in Kevin Thomas next.
Perfect.
We're supposed to bring him in. Bring him in now. Those Colts. I don't know what it is with those Colts. I just don't even understand it. Oops.
Yeah, they're an interesting bunch, that's for sure.
It's Frank Reich. It's just such. I could go on all day about it. It's painful to watch. It's
lost for words. I haven't heard you speechless very often.
I just don't understand how you could have players like that are that good and then tell them not to try. To stop trying. It's like you have Carson Wentz, so you're crippled already. You have a bad decision maker with a rag arm at quarterback to begin with. So it's like you've got issues, and it's like your team plays their guts out, and then you tell them, you have like one of the best ball hawking linebackers. Kevin Thomas decides to get up while he's on the air. Okay.
No.
Now he's back. It's okay. Hey, it's not the
Morning,
first one,
Kevin.
not the first one to storm out on the show.
Oh, I had the dogs under control, and now they're going nuts, and I didn't want it to disrupt.
You got the Colts today or something? I don't care. I don't care if David Johnson's not playing. I don't care if I don't care if the Texans got 11 guys total that are active. I don't care.
I do have my free winner on total for the Colts game. I do.
Well,
and I actually do have a good side on this one too, but that's one of my premium picks. So you're gonna get the total here. The total is 44 and a half, 45, 44 and a half. Last time they played, like Sean said, bouncing off him 31-3. And that one we had Davis Mills as quarterback. He threw for like 200 yards, 2 interceptions. Is Tyrod Taylor better? No, but the threat of the run is there. Will he score more than 3? Yes. I think the Texans in the last 3 have averaged 15 points a game, and I think at home they do play. Do they want to win? I doubt it. It shows on the road. I mean, against the Titans, that was a good win they had there. But, they're playing for draft now. And with Deshaun Watson, he's gone, and then they're going to probably get 2 first rounds for him. I don't see why they want to win. They're going with some of their younger players, their young tight end. But then if you look on the other side of the ball with the Colts, they're averaging 34 points in the last 5 games for the season. They're averaging 28 points. They're going to be without their center, though, so that kind of scares me there. Ryan Kelly will be out, Pro Bowl center, so I still think Taylor will have success running the ball, but I think Carson Wentz will have more success, and I think T.Y. Hilton will be huge as he has owned the Texans this year. It's a lot of points, 10 points, but I think the Texans at least get 17, and I think this one goes over. So take the over here, 44.5.
Joe?
This total is tight for me. Kevin, I hear everything you're saying. The only thing that worries me is what we saw in the Texans game versus the Jets. What did they score? Like 14 points against the Jets defense? That is nowhere near as close, productive as this
first half, and then they just stopped playing.
Yeah, right.
I don't think they want to beat the Jets because they're playing for picks. So the
True.
Colts divisional game at home, they're going to play. They're going to play this team tough in front of their fans. So I think it's going to be I think they're going to get more points than they did against the 14. I think the Colts, they give up the passes, and I'm pretty sure Cooks and Collins is playing, so they can beat the Colts. I mean, pretty sure Cooks, he's in my fantasy, he had about 98 yards in that game with Davis Mills throwing the ball. Tyrod Taylor, he could throw the ball a little bit better than him, and with his mobility, I could see a nice little slot slants right there. So I still think 17 points for the Texans. So
Okay, then I will. I'll tell you on that. You've convinced me.
okay.
What about you, Mitch? Any thoughts on this total?
Oh, it's going so far over. What'll happen is the Colts will be blowing them out of the building, and then they'll decide, I don't want to play anymore, and then they'll be able to throw, just like when Josh Johnson was 27 of 41 for 317 yards and 3 touchdowns against these guys. He only played like a half of the game. White started that game with 7 and 11 to start it. This guy threw. This is how soft of a D that frickin' Frank Reich goes into. I mean, it's not even a prevent zone. It is basically, it is the gator flop. The old gator flop where the guys just lay down on the floor. So, the offense can get the ball back so some guy could break a record. I mean, that's what they do here. And it's like, it's pathetic. You give up 30 points at home in a primetime game against the New York frickin' Jets. And, I mean, it took an interception in the end zone to make it not 37. I mean, it would have been the worst beat ever. It really would have been a miserable beat. And I'm telling you, it was a miserable beat last time against the Jags also. These guys go into this, I don't even know what you call it, It's like he takes the prevent to a whole new level. It's like, and it's not a good level either. It's not. It's the other way. Freaking Colts. I'm so done with these guys. It's like, the thing is, it's like, if we can get them as a dog, then we bet them. But it's like, except for last week where they roasted us again. Oh, man, they were laying 10.5 in that Jags game, up 23-10. They give up the touchdown. I mean, they're not even on the field, the defense, at the end of that game. You give up 17 against Jacksonville, you could certainly give up 17 against Tyrod Taylor. He'll throw one down the field. Someone will catch it. I'm with you. I like the over. Freaking Colts. So done with that. I'm so done.
Oh no, we agree. I might have to change this.
It's all right. Okay.
I'm going to take the Giants now just for that to make up for this.
See, everyone's on the Colts. Everyone's on the Colts, man. Good luck. Good frickin' luck. It's a good way to wind up in the hospital. Take the Colts every week. What else you got going on?
Over at Pick Dogs, you can get my NFL Gridiron Gold with they're my 3 top picks for today's NFL action, and I do have an NBA game thrown in there too. 3:30 tip off between the Cavs and Jazz. You can jump on that slam dunk. But your best value is the 3-pack, $35 for my 3 top NFL plays for today's action.
This Colts game is actually the second most heavily bet game of the day.
And the line hasn't moved, so what's that tell you?
Yeah, well, I show it 10.5 at one of the offshores, but with heavy juice. It went from 7.
That's one of my premium. I'm not going to tell you what I'm on. That's one of my premium picks.
Yep. Anyways, well, thanks for joining us. And
thank you as always.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Always a good time.
Yep. Good luck, guys.
Best of luck today, Kevin.
Kevin Thomas, that was fun. I think we've covered the Colts game and total. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Got it all
We
out
are
of my
totally
system.
good on this one.
Those freaking Colts. Those Colts, man.
Hopefully no one else in the green room brings them up.
I'm sure they will now.
We'll be here for a 4-hour show.
I think everyone knows, It's
Yeah.
like, but we could bring in Al McMorty next. And Al celebrating his Michigan team not choking it away last night. It's pretty amazing. It's Harbaugh, un-Michigan like, but there they are in the playoff. Al, can you only hope that Georgia drops all the way to 4?
Yeah,
because Alabama's got to be 1, right? So.
I don't know who's going to be 1 and who's going to be 2. All I know is that they're going to put Michigan against Georgia. So they can put Georgia at 4 and Michigan at 1, or they'll put Georgia at 3 and Michigan at 2, and it's not going to be pretty.
I think that they might have some trouble running the football against Georgia.
I think they're going to have a lot of trouble doing a lot of things against Georgia. But hey, it'll be fun just to just being there, right? After being in the whatever.
Kirby Smart, not a great coach either. He's got a ton of talent on that team. I mean, tons. But he's not a great coach either. I mean, he's.
A lot of people next to Saban are not good coaches. So.
Well, the thing is that Kirby Smart, he can out talent teams, but he never. Georgia wasn't really in like a coaching battle, this year. They had the Clemson game, but
Yeah, but I look at that game yesterday as just one of those games where Georgia didn't need to win. They knew they were going to be in the playoffs. I mean, just emotionally and psychologically, they were never going to win that game.
But
I didn't have a play.
No, they were done. They were done. I sent you a text. I was like, they're done, right?
I mean, but just the situation. Alabama coming off that,
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's.
No, it was a horrible spot for Georgia, and it was like outside of that, it was like you could see even when they were up 10-0, when Bama caught that pass over the middle, it was game over. And then they marched down, from the 20-yard line, the 8-play 80-yard drive. That's that was, we can't stop you, and we can't even rush your quarterback. It's like you're done. But you ever think that there's like a situation, especially in college football, where they have too many good players like Georgia does, like where James Cook, who, I mean, if he was on my team, I would give him the ball every single time. I'd give him every play. I would just give him the ball and take my chances. And, but a team like Georgia, especially with the transfer portal, they've been hit extremely hard by the portal over the years. Justin Fields transferred, from Georgia to Ohio State because they wanted, the guy that got cut by the Bills. Boy, what's his? We can't. It's 2 years later. We can't remember his name. And they get hit by the portal every year. It's the top 5 recruiting classes that always have the top 5 guys in the portal every year too. So you think Georgia? There's only so many guys that can play, and they promise everybody playing time. To come there. So, you think there's too many good players that he gets instead of guys that fit the system?
I don't know, but I just as a Michigan fan, I just think it's going to be, and my 6-year-old just walked in.
But,
hi, Bernie.
But Alabama, Alabama, it seems like guys are more willing to wait their turn.
Okay, hold on.
I just traded
thanks, Bernie. Bye.
If I ever write, if I ever
live television, right?
We've seen it on all the networks, the kids walking in the background. The best was that one broadcast. I can't remember what it was with the toddler and the baby and the nanny.
The Australian Prime Minister or the New Zealand Prime Minister, that one?
Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah, that was great.
But
she was just totally cool. Like she just was great.
Absolutely.
Jake Fromm was the quarterback.
Right. Well, let's do this before my daughter walks back in.
Well, what do you got for us for a free pick?
Yeah, I'm going to look at the my old haunting ground, Pittsburgh. The Steelers are residing in last place in the AFC North. Meanwhile, the team I tabbed to win the Super Bowl this year at 16-1 odds, Baltimore, sits atop the entire AFC with an 8-3 record. And this is one of the most fierce rivalries in the entire NFL. And one of the last things you want to do in this rivalry is give the team at home points. And especially not if that home underdog has a worse record and is off a loss. In that situation in this series, the home dog has gone 10-1-1 ATS. Yes, I know Pittsburgh's off that blowout 41-10 defeat to Cincinnati, but when you take a look at how NFL teams do when they gave up more than 40 points in their previous game, and when they lost that previous game by more than 22, those teams have gone 95-54 against the spread. Everyone thinks all the, what do you call it? The buzzards are circling around Mike Tomlin right now, but I just think this is one of those games where Pittsburgh, I don't know if they're going to win, but when you're getting 4 points, I'm going to take the points.
Joe?
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Al. This is one that earlier in the week I was looking at the Ravens, but as I dug more into the stats, more into the trends, I can't get behind them, especially how they've struggled as of late in the last 5 games. 4 of those, they've been held to under 18 points. I think Lamar isn't looking like himself. He's thrown 4 picks in that last game there. And I think the Steelers, off that hard loss, they were embarrassed. They're going to come out. They're at home. You're giving them with points with such a solid defense at home. I'm going to take it.
I'm so done with the Steelers too. Another team that I've just had it with. And it's like, I don't understand the game plan. And when you have like one of the greatest NFL head coaches, this is the guy that it's like, they can't, you can't fire him because someone would hire him tomorrow, right? They'd fire them. It doesn't matter who you got. You'd fire him and hire this guy in a second. But the issue is I don't even understand if it's Ben Roethlisberger making the decisions out there or if it's Tomlin or who's making these calls, because I don't understand why on second second and 1, I get it, right? You could throw it down the field, but you don't even try a run on 3rd and 1, once in a while. It doesn't need to be a 40-yard play, on 3rd and 1. It doesn't. And it's like, I understand that that's your game and whatever, but it's not working. When it is working, well, yeah, it's great, but it's like, it's not working. It's like, because the passes aren't even on target because your offensive line isn't as good as it used to be, as you can tell by your running statistics. So I struggle with it. The Ravens, meanwhile, a lousy cover team too, just lousy at covering. They'll probably win this game, but they have the best kicker, and that's why they have the best record, is because they have the best kicker, not because of their rushing attack or their defense or anything else. It's like, that's how close these NFL games are. I know there was a statistic, and you probably know it, what it is now, but it used to be that like X% of NFL games are decided by 5 points or less. And it's was most. And, that means your kicker has got to be good. And when you have a guy that just doesn't miss like this guy, that's the difference. And I could see this one being in the 2-3 point range. I could also see the Steelers, totally getting blown out because we've seen it so many times this season. Something we haven't seen. Ben Roethlisberger announced this is his last season, which he should have done about 2 years ago.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
It's kind of like all he is taking a beating back there. I think losing Villanueva on the offensive line has just really hurt this team a lot. Outside of that, well, things are rosy in Pittsburgh. What do you think of the running back there, like that they drafted from Alabama, the first round Josh? He's done nothing, right? I think he has numbers, but they're dead last, right, in rushing.
Yeah, the Steelers have been unimpressive all the way around this year. But
87.1 yards per game on the ground. Doesn't do it. They're allowing 24.3 points per game. Yuck. And meanwhile, the Ravens got rung in Miami, right? By the Dolphins. They got crushed. So this year's NFL is more week to week than I think it's ever been.
Well, it's been a strange year in the NFL. You've got teams like Buffalo that have a lot of talent and they, alternate wins and losses, right? And, the Ravens are atop the AFC, and yet they're doing it with mirrors. So,
but they've won the Super Bowl doing it that way, though. So it's like, the year that they beat the Giants the first time, when they beat the Giants.
Know that, but their defense was incredible that year. It's a different team this year.
No, it is a different team.
Okay, so let me quickly talk about one other game. It's sort of cut from the same cloth as the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game. I want to take a quick look at the Seattle-San Francisco game. You've got two teams going in opposite directions here. Another division rivalry with the 49ers and the Seahawks. Seattle's off 3 straight up and against the spread losses. San Francisco, meanwhile, off 3 straight up and against the spread wins. And even more impressive for the 49ers in their last 3 games, they've topped the 30-point mark in each of those 3 wins. So the knee-jerk reaction might be to take the 49ers minus the 3 points. It was at 3.5. It's now come down to 3, at Seattle. But when you take a look at how unrested NFL teams have done off 3 straight up and against spread wins, if they scored 30 or more points in each of those 3 wins, those teams have only covered 69 out of 164 games going back to 1980. So that doesn't bode well for San Francisco as a road favorite here. Also, another thing that does not bode well is Seattle is 37-9 against the spread off back-to-back losses, including 16-2 ATS if their opponent covered the spread by 4 or more points in its previous game. I like Seattle here as the home dog +3.
Joe?
I'm worried about Russell Wilson. I don't think he looks healthy. I think he came back too early. I think that injury to his finger is worse than we're all being told. I can't get behind either. Well, no, I like the 49ers. I hate to go against you, Al, but I think they're just going to dominate this one.
You can go against me any day of the week.
I hate it, though. Your stats and everything are so strong, but I just think the eye test here with what we're seeing out of San Francisco, if they play a solid run game, grind it out, dominate the clock, I think Russell Wilson is prone to throwing an interception today. I just don't see him being able to move this ball down the field, not with his finger. I think he's just in trouble this season, and he should have been rested longer.
Well, like I said, both of these games are cut from the same cloth between Roethlisberger and Russell Wilson and the two teams. They're pretty ugly right now, but I think you'll get at least one, if not both of them.
Yeah, I like Seattle in this one all the way. I love fading the 49ers. I just can't stand the organization from top to bottom. John Lynch just is ridiculous. I mean, you draft a quarterback, you trade up to take a quarterback number 4 overall. This guy's can't even crack the starting lineup. And, Jimmy Garoppolo is your starter. And then you have Kyle Shanahan is too arrogant for his own good. He can't even get his team to play. He can't win a tight one. He can only win, when his team clearly has a big edge. And I think on the road in Seattle, really not getting the respect here that, playing in Seattle is. It's a very, very tough building, a very, very tough environment. And this is where Clappy is at his best. Pete Carroll's clapping, everyone's coming over, he's clapping. And, it's like this, we've seen it a million times, And I could see Seattle winning this one outright.
So over at Pick Dogs Premium today, guys, I've got 3 NFL for Sunday. I've already posted my Monday night play as well. So 4 NFL locked and loaded at Pick Dogs Premium. I have 2 plays in college basketball, 1 play in the NBA. So overall 7 plays up right now. And it would be great for folks to join for a week or for a month for the best value, and to also team me up with one of the other champion handicappers here under the 2-for-1 handicapper special.
Well, always good to have you on the show. We always appreciate it, even if Joe Madden doesn't agree with your picks.
It's death going against you, though, Al. I know how well you do in the NFL, so I hate when I'm on the opposite side.
It's not offending me. Good luck, guys.
Thanks,
Best of luck today, Al.
Okay, adios.
Bye.
Big Al celebrating his Michigan Wolverines. The big
Absolutely.
win.
It was a fantastic win by them yesterday.
We've got
I was on the other side, but fantastic for him.
We've got a full green room here. So if anyone wants to flash the high sign, who wants to go next? Or I'll just do it. So Shane saw a hand go up in the jiffy there. Jiffy. Joe,
I'm getting more and more excited for these games. So many good ones today.
Joe, we're winding down the year. What's the thing about the year that you want to get rid of? Like, what's the one word that you don't want to hear anymore? What's the, I mean, obviously, COVID, we don't want to hear anymore, but like,
oh, yeah.
Like what's the, I hate the word narrative. I can't stand it. It's like,
I don't think I've heard that word lately.
My wife uses it all the time. And I hear it all the time too. And it's like last night I changed, like we're going to have baked potatoes and it's like we went to mashed potatoes and it's like I changed the potato narrative, the whole narrative of what happens. Like I don't care what, it's like, so like no one put in the baked potatoes. So we had to have mashed potatoes and it's like I changed the narrative of the, I'm like there's a potato narrative now, it's like, and that's basically what happened. I can't stand that word.
I don't think I've ever used that word.
Yeah, I hear it all the time now about everything. Everything. Shane, welcome to the show. You got a potato narrative at your house?
No debates on potatoes over here.
Anyways. What do you got going on today? How's the Great White North?
Yeah, well, Minneapolis got about 3 inches of snow last night, but
you said it was warm yesterday.
Well, yeah, it was warm here, but overnight it snowed. And it didn't snow here, so I'm about an hour and a half south of Minneapolis, so we're still looking like it might not be a white Christmas here, but otherwise everything is all good up here. And the Wild have taken everyone's attention up here, one of the best teams in the NHL, so. Maybe this is finally the year they can get out of the first round of the playoffs. But it's a Minnesota sports team, so probably not.
Smudges. Why didn't they keep the name the North Stars? Did they traded that to with the team to Dallas? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Is why?
Yeah, Dallas took the Stars name. Even like when we went to like I think it was last year they introduced the North Star throwbacks. But they can't call it the North Star throwbacks. It's just the color schemes because I guess they gave up the Stars name to Dallas when they were moved down to Dallas.
Way better logo, the old North Stars logo, than the Smudges.
For sure. Just walking around Minneapolis or Minnesota, there's tons of Wild jerseys, but there's a ton of North Star gear. It's very popular around here to wear.
I have
North Star stuff.
I have a North Star shirt. Joe, what do you like, North Stars or Smudges?
Smudges. How can you not like the Smudges?
There's one for the Smudges. There's one in every crowd. What do you got for us today, Shane?
Start, we got an NFL play. The game between the Eagles and Jets. I know the Jets have been awful this year, but the Eagles really haven't impressed me. They struggle to move the ball. Jalen Hurts is out for this game. They turned to Gardner Minshew, and when Gardner Minshew was good a few years ago, I hopped on that Minshew mania train, but he really was not good his last few starts in Jacksonville. And for some reason, the Eagles have been running the ball a little more now, but I do not like the head coach they have there. He seems to run his offense like I play my Madden game, run with the quarterback, throw on every down and run the ball very little. And I think that the Jets find a way to keep this game close. Wilson has not been great for the Jets, but he only had one interception last weekend, which was a big improvement for him. And I think that the Jets finally found something with their running game last week. I think they can build on that against the Eagles front in this game. The Jets are getting too many points here. I'm going to take the Jets.
Joe?
Yeah, this is a game I'm going to stay off. Jalen Hurts being out. Gardner Minshew isn't bad. I think he can do enough in this game to cover the spread against this New York Jets team that I do not believe at all in Zach Wilson. He's on and off in some games, and I don't think their defense will stand up in this one. They're 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games following an ATS win. I just can't get behind either team in this one. I originally was heavy on the Eagles, but Jalen Hurts being out is a game changer.
Yeah, I don't care if Jalen Hurts is playing. I don't care, who's playing. It's the New York frickin' Jets. And this team is fully capable of beating themselves. There's no way I could rally behind the Jets. They are terrible. And I know I know that Zach Wilson, not one of your favorite players, and we've seen glimpses from the Jets, but that's what the Jets do. They show glimpses and they give their fans hope, only to rip their hearts out. And usually it happens in home games and games like this.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles are playing in the same stadium 2 weeks in a row against different teams on the road here. I think they're used to it at this point, but I think the result is different this week. Jalen Hurts is not a great quarterback either, so it's not. It's really not. He's such a non-issue. That's only a 1.5 line movement.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Except he's led his team in rushing. He's been the one that has the most rushing yards on the team. He's a tricky part of the Eagles, in my opinion.
But it's been the Eagles' defense that's gotten it done, and it's created the turnovers in the big plays.
That is very true.
I still really like this play, but I like the play better when Hurts was starting, honestly, just because he cannot throw the ball. I mean, if you take away the run from Hurts, and last week I can't remember who. I think it was Jalen Reagor who dropped back-to-back touchdown passes that would have won him the game. I mean, clearly, the wide receivers have issues. That offense just has some major issues.
Oh, I love it with Jalen Hurts in, because you look at the last 5 games, they've outrushed opponents by 131.4 yards per game in these last 5, and that's been on Jalen Hurts' shoulders. He's so able to run this ball. So I don't know. That's where I'm struggling with the Eagles now that Minshew's in.
What else you got for us today?
Yeah, just one other quick play. NBA. I like the Cavs on the money line. I'm getting the value against the Utah Jazz. I mean, people are starting to talk about the Cavs, but this is a team that's actually, going to make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. They've won 3 straight games, and it's not been against slouches. They beat the Wizards in their last game. I think this is a game where you throw a few dollars on the Cavs to beat the Jazz.
Joe?
Yeah, I can see that. They're 5-0 against the spread, and their last 5 is a underdog. So I give them that. I think they definitely can cover the spread in this one.
I've been riding the Cavs pretty much the whole way. So they've been a cash machine. Until they give me reason to get off, I'm gonna stay on the train. I think the Jazz probably win and the Cavs cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so for today's packages, I've got 5 pack up of all NFL, my 5 NFL plays for the day. Or I've got a 5 pack that includes 2 NFL plays, 2 college basketball, and then 1 NBA play. Both those packages are $34.95 on the site.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. We certainly appreciate it, and kill them today.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys next weekend.
Best of luck today.
You guys too.
Thank you.
Shane Mickle here. And let's see. Got just a host of people left. Bring in Al Ninos next. Me and Al usually disagree on his pick, so I have no idea what his pick is, but we'll see what he's got. I think we've disagreed on 18 consecutive picks. So let's see if we can keep it going. Keep the streak alive.
I love it.
It's gonna take
definitely Sundays are my favorite show. I love sitting around with all the cappers and discussing, debating these games. It's great.
Well, for me, it's like I don't get to see and talk to everybody as much as I would like to, and I know at a lot of the other sites they never see and talk to any of the guys. So it's like it's kind of like our chance to touch base with everyone, see how everyone's doing, and kind of like keep that open door communication. Al, how you doing today? You don't have the Colts, do you?
No, I didn't touch that game. 10 points. I usually try to stay away from those in the NFL. Well, teams have been covering those big spreads lately, but I don't know. It's still too many points for me in the NFL.
What do you have going on for us today?
Maybe tease them or something, but I know that's something you don't like to hear. Me, just a little bit of everything. As far as the show's concerned, we'll be looking at the Ravens versus Steelers. I know you touched on the side with McMorty, but we'll be taking a look at the total here.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, you mentioned this being a rivalry game, and the Ravens coming into Pittsburgh after beating the Browns 16-10. They are the much better team, but have been a little banged up and not really playing their best football lately. They've only gone over in 5 of their 11 games, while the Steelers only over in 4 of their 11 with a push in there. Pittsburgh offense just hasn't really been there, at least consistently enough for me to back. And their defense has stepped up a bit. Obviously, the same could be said about Baltimore's offense. They've been moving the ball most of the season, but haven't really been able to score as much as they move the ball. They're third in the league in yards gained, but just scoring just under 24 points a game. They've also struggled to convert their third downs, and both these teams are very good at defending those third downs. So I'm seeing a lot of running in this game, and just enough stops here, and I think we get a lot of field goals and punts. The Ravens have gone under in all 4 of their road games this season. Lamar Jackson was out for one of them, but he hadn't done much, in the game before or after that. The Ravens, they don't have the same defense as they did back when Ray Lewis was there, but they've still been good against the run, and should look pretty good today against this offense. So, as I said, I'm expecting a lot of running. Both teams can try to establish that, but I expect Baltimore to find more success there, which has been, Pittsburgh's weakness on defense has been defending the run. So, do expect them to run the ball, but again, that will take time off the clock. And we should get some enough stops here on third down, as I said, to keep this game from going over the total. So I'm taking the under here in this rivalry game.
Joe, Al sees the defense is getting teams off the field here. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is going to be a game played completely in those trenches. I see both defenses coming out strong, and the trends are supporting it. When we look at the Ravens on the road, last 4 road games, they have gone under. They're also under 5-1 in their last 6 games as a road favorite, and the under is 7-3 in the Steelers' last 10 games as a home underdog. I think this just is a hard defensive battle here in this rivalry. I don't see it going over at all. And you bring up Ray Lewis. I miss those Ray Lewis days. Mitch, is there any team that is defensively as strong as back in the Ray Lewis Ravens days?
Not right now, there isn't. That's for sure.
I completely agree.
The rules have also, they continue to change, so it's like the offenses continue to have the advantage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
But, it's football. NFL is more fun if I get to disagree with Al Nino. So just on principle alone, I will take the over. I didn't really have a player opinion before Al got here, but since he's here,
that's one way.
Well, this is what
that's one way to keep a streak going. So
this is what I do. We just take what Al does and we see if we could find the opposite way in the door here on it. And 44 just seems like an awfully low number. The Steelers have not been playing the conservative game. They're almost dead last in the NFL in rushing, and they throw almost exclusively. And I think a lot of these passes that it's as miserable as the play calling is, if you have this, have had the Steelers in any of these games, you're just like, what are they doing? If the receivers hold on to one of these here and there, it could be a different story, and maybe some of this stuff works. So maybe they hold on here in the rivalry game. I could see the Ravens breaking off some big plays too, and this one could easily be a shootout as much as it could be a defensive struggle. But I still think it comes down to being a very close game at the end, where the kicker matters.
Yeah.
Anyways, Al, what else you got?
As far as free picks go, sure. If you want to go against me again, we can try that.
Just take the Colts. Just do me.
If real quick off the top of my head, small NBA card, but I do have one premium. But other than that, I would take the points with the Hornets.
Joe, what do you think about the Hornets here? The NBA, I don't really have an issue with Al Ninos generally, so.
Yeah, I could see getting behind the Hornets here. It's one really I haven't looked into for the day, to be honest with you. I just really looked at the Cavs and the Washington and Toronto games. So Hornets have kind of stayed off.
I could see a path to the Hornets here. So I'm going to have to agree with Al Ninos in the NBA, because the Hornets have major COVID issues. So they're missing like half their, all their good guys. Ball is out, and Plumlee, right? They have, and Rozier, right? They're all out. So the public generally is like, oh, this guy's out and this guy's out and this guy's out, right? So it's like, I could see it being the other way. That's what kind of like Memphis last night against Dallas.
Yeah, as players step up to showcase what they can do.
Yeah,
Young
not only
also.
that,
Good
it's
angle.
just it ends up being too much,
Yeah.
too many points. And then the other team, what'll happen? They'll sit some guys out.
Yeah, Young's also questionable for this one, so he might sit this one out if they don't feel it's gonna be the most competitive game.
Yeah, he's possibly out as well.
Yeah, if he's out, I definitely love the points.
What do you have for sale today, Al?
Went with 2 different 5-packs. I have a 5-pack all NFL and then another mixed pack with my 2 best NFL, my best NBA, NHL, and college basketball bet. So if you're into all sports, well, you should probably check the long-term deals out. That way you get all the NFL as well. If you're just into if you're just into the NFL, grab that 5-pack. Or again, long-term pass will still be a better deal in the long run. Pair me up with your other favorite capper for an even better deal.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. I enjoyed it as always. Of course, we'll see you on the drive-thru during the week and next weekend here.
Always a pleasure, and looking forward to it.
Best of luck today, Al.
Thanks, you too.
It's Al Ninos. He's only here to disagree with me. Fine.
That's
He's
okay.
disagreeing with me. He doesn't even know it before he gets here.
I think you like to disagree with him more.
We'll put, let's see. Go with Ron Romanelli next. He's been sitting there.
Yeah, we still got a lot of cappers up, you guys. So don't go anywhere. Fill up those coffees.
We got plenty of cappers left. And Ron Romanelli, didn't see him yesterday, so we'll bring him in now. It's weird. I have all the names in alphabetical order. I still can't find everybody.
You singing the alphabet in your head? That normally helps for me.
No, it's what it is that the text is really light, so I can't see it. So it's like I'm blind to begin with. So it's like I could wear my glasses. I do during the halftime shows.
You do. Morning, Ron. How are you doing today?
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Doing good.
I'm fantastic.
Got NFL action, of course. College football, Saturday come and gone. Got a new coach there in Gainesville, Billy Napier from Louisiana, going out a winner at Louisiana.
Yeah, he's about to arrive in Gainesville in about 10 minutes. At 11:30, they're going to meet him at the Bull Gator Stadium. So he'll be in Gainesville. He's a Gator now. He's not going to coach for the bowl game for Louisiana. So officially a Gator head coach.
Well, the last time they went to a smaller school for a head coach, it did not work out well for them. So we'll have to see how this one works out. I believe it was, where'd they go? Colorado State or something, right? Bring that guy in.
I thought it was Mountain West, but I don't remember. Colorado State, but I don't remember.
It was one of those places that they went to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was, that might not have been Colorado.
This is really small now with the Sun Belt, so we'll see. But he took a small team, and now they're ranked. So
yeah, they did get clobbered by Texas when they stepped it up. So I don't know.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the Gators being down for another decade. But anyways, got NFL action today. What do you got for us?
Yeah, this might not be the most popular play, but I really think that this Bucs defense, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, has some question marks. I mean, you look at the injuries. There's still some injuries to worry about in the secondary. And to me, this team seems like a team that's just concerned about getting to the playoffs and trying to win another Super Bowl, not necessarily blowing out bad teams. And we've seen the Buccaneers; they've been favorites in every single game they've played this season. They're 8-3 overall. They're having a good year, but they're 5-6 against the spread. So they're not really covering these spreads. We saw the Falcons; their defense struggled in the first game against the Bucs this season. They gave up 41 points, but the offense was able to score 25 points and it actually outgained Tampa Bay in total yards. I think the defense for Atlanta has definitely improved as the weeks have gone on. And I do expect in a rivalry game at home for a much better defensive performance from the Falcons. And you may not know this, but the Falcons are actually a contender in the NFC wildcard, believe it or not. I mean, they haven't played like it, I'll admit it, but 5-6 is good enough to be right in the mix in the NFC for the wild card spot, the last one. The home team is 4-2 against the spread in the last 6 meetings between these two teams, and the over has hit in 4 straight games as well. And you look at the Buccaneers, I told you they're not great covering this season, 5-6 against the spread, but they've really struggled on the road. The Bucs are 1-5 against the spread as the road team this season. The only time they covered the spread was last week against, should I say, the Colts in the 7-point win.
Don't bring them up again.
Yeah, but I mean, the Buccaneers, they forced 5 turnovers in that game. They were +3 in the turnover battle, and they still gave up 31 points. So this defense, to me, is a lot to worry about, and I think the Falcons at home getting double digits, and it's just too many points. So I'm going to take the Falcons and the points, and I'm going to lean towards the over as well.
Joe?
I'm on the exact same page. I think that's the only way you can take this game is the Falcons plus the points and the over. I think they're going to score enough points here to get it over. And this Tampa Bay Bucs team is one that I cannot trust on the road at all. You already threw out the stats there. 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 road games and only covering in that last one. How can we trust them? We can't. And then we look at this Bucs team, though, offensively, they're one of the best in the league. They're averaging 31.5 points per game. I think the Falcons are doing better defensively, like you said, and they will be able to get the ball moving on the Bucs defense into the secondary and convert those touchdowns as well. So I love the over, and I love them plus the points. What about you, Mitch?
I like the Falcons in this one plus the points. The Bucs have just been a miserable road cover team. They covered last week, and as we've talked about, because the Colts laid down their defense. It's like it should have been a push. It should have been a push. I mean, in betting, you can't really say that. It should have been, could have been, that stuff, right? It doesn't really matter. It is what it is, and it was Leonard Fournette breaking away on a run that was designed to get 4 yards and running it in for a touchdown, breaking it away, but in the cover. But that wouldn't do it this week. Because they're laying even more points. And, we've seen them not cover against worse than this, right? So, it's at home, they're a different story. If they're at home here, it's also a divisional matchup. And I think that a lot of that's lost. And when we look at the Atlanta Falcons, we think stink, right? I mean, that's the first thing that pops into your head. But actually, you look at them record-wise, and they're in the playoff hunt equally as much as a lot of these other teams, like Joe's Washington team that she's ridden into the ground here. Joe's like ride it till the wheels fall off. It's like the wheels fell off like 4 games ago.
Oh, I know, way long ago. It's like, come on, they got to do something.
But now they're 5-6. Now they're 5-6, and she's soured on them. It's like, but the Falcons are the same. They're also 5-6, right? I mean, they stink.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the Bucs; they were favorites on the road against the Rams. They lost that game outright. 7-point favorites against the Patriots. They barely covered on a game-winning field goal. At the Eagles, they didn't cover. That was a little bit of a backdoor. But at the Saints, they were favorites. They lost the game outright. At the Washington football team, they were favorites. They lost the game outright. And the only cover was against the Colts, and it really was kind of a lucky cover. So I think the Falcons, I think you just got to fade Tampa Bay on the road. And we know the public's going to be all over Tampa Bay as they usually are. So I think we're getting good value.
Falcons 0-4 against the number at home, so they're no prize. We're not.
No,
they're no prize. We're not like gonna
close your eyes and hold your nose. Take the Falcons.
Yeah, this is. We'll have fun at halftime on this one.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
what else you got going on?
Yeah, well, as far as premium plays go, I have got my top 3 NFL plays in my Super Sunday trio. You had 2 1:00 games, and then my Sunday night football play as well. Really liking those NFL games. And I told myself I was just going to stick to the NFL. Usually on Sundays, I like to just focus on the NFL and make those my premium plays. But I looked at the college basketball schedule, and I just could not pass up one play. I really think it's a big mismatch, and it's my play of the day in college hoops. You can get that individually as well. So I got those plays on the website. Check me out, and looking for another winning day. Having a good run lately.
Nice run. And anyways, it's Ron Romanelli. Thanks for joining us. He's going out for a jog.
Best of luck today, Ron. Crush the books.
Yep. Good luck, guys.
Ron Romanelli. We don't see him enough.
No, we don't.
Yeah, next Saturday it's just Army Navy is the only football. It's weird, right? And
Yeah.
Have,
It'd be super weird.
I think the next Saturday bowl season starts maybe, but I think I'm out. I don't know when bowls start. It's going to be my first shows I'm ever going to miss. Sad, but true.
And we're going to miss you.
Probably not that much. I'm sure you'll get over it.
I don't know if we will, Mitch.
I think
Who are we going to have to do the Colts impressions?
Oh,
Someone's going to have to step up and do that.
Those Colts.
We're going to have Carrie sit in for you.
Yeah, the bowls start on Friday, December 17th. So, yeah, I'm going to miss the opening of college football bowl season. Wow.
Well, if you make some notes, we'll definitely
maybe I'll
read those out for
I'll
everyone.
do a video that you guys can show.
Oh, that would be perfect. You absolutely should.
Oh, well.
No, you do a video. We'll insert it into the show. We definitely can do that.
Yeah,
you guys don't want to miss out on Mitch's take on the Bulls start.
Yeah, I'll probably do something ahead of time, but we're going to bring in Jovan next. And see what we got. And here we go. Got him.
Morning, Jovan.
Welcome to the show. I think he's muted. He's been back there so long.
Yeah.
How's it going today?
We're doing okay. Nice cold New England morning.
I certainly don't miss those. A lot of people talking about that we're getting snow here in Hawaii, but what they don't understand is that's like way up high, like way up high. Down here we haven't had great weather, but it's been, it's not snowing or anywhere remotely. It's still shorts and flip flops. Just maybe I wore a hoodie yesterday when I went out to walk the dog.
So chilly. I can't believe how you can survive that, Mitch.
The struggle is real.
Must be nice.
It is.
Yeah, it must be.
Okay, it is. Not gonna lie. Anyways, what do you got going on today, Jovan?
We're gonna go to the AFC West. Look at this Broncos Chiefs game, Sunday Night Football. And it's an old adage. Don't go against Andy V coming off a bye. And but I'm gonna. I'm rolling with the Broncos in this one. The Chiefs, they've won 4 straight, but you take a deeper dive into their 4 games, and quite honestly, they're not that impressive. They won against the Giants 20-17. Then against the Aaron Rodgers Green Bay team, they won 13-7. Then they blew the doors off of Las Vegas. And then, got a pretty nice win against Dallas, 19-9. But something still doesn't sit right with this offense, with this Chiefs offense. They're 1-5 against the spread at home. And, playing a Broncos team that's a top 10 defense who could, stop or slow teams down on both running the ball and passing the ball. I just think that, they're going to lay Patrick Mahomes on his back, several times. And, as an aside, take the over on the on Denver sacks today. But besides that, just think that with 15-mile-an-hour winds, I think that this could be a more of a running game, at least for the Broncos, and that it'll be a great equalizer for them, to keep the ball away from Patrick Mahomes. I believe they'll have some success against the Chiefs running the ball. When all said and done, they'll get a cover. Maybe backdoor, maybe maybe it'll be a tighter game, but I don't think the Chiefs win by no more than 7 points.
Joe, the Chiefs have not been generally a good cover team. They have been covering a little bit recently. They have been on a little bit of a roll too, but not sold on them either. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not sold on them either, especially in a rivalry game like this with a solid defense out of the Broncos. They're only allowing 17.8 points per game, and I just think this is too many points. I think what we see out of the Chiefs, they're one of the worst cover teams against the spread in the whole league. And Mahomes hasn't looked like himself this season either. He's thrown 11 interceptions. I think it's because his offensive line is really breaking down. I know, just like Jovan said, you don't bet against Andy Reid off a bye, but I think this is one that they're not the same team that we're used to seeing. So that off a bye, throw it out the window. Give me Denver plus the points.
I like Denver in this one as well, plus the points. I think they have a chance to win this game outright. We've seen them step it up against, some of the good teams. I mean, they absolutely crushed Dallas, 30-16. They beat up the Chargers last week, so they've done it at home on the road. They had that, that 4-game stretch this season where they struggle, but outside of that, they've been really, really strong. I thought that game against Philly that could have gone either way. I don't think the final score was representative of the game, even though the final score is the final score. I don't think I think it was one play that kind of swung the whole game. And those happen, but I think if you looked at the statistics on that game, they're probably way closer than the score, and they are. The Philly just grounded them down though, because they had that lead. But it was that one lost fumble. I like the Broncos though in this one. Divisional game. World likely to be humping up on the Chiefs too.
Absolutely.
What else do we got going on?
That's it for the free plays. But I got a 5-pack showing me the money 5-pack. 5 games that NFL games that I like. I also have a bonus NFL pick, and I will be putting up at least one basketball play, if not 2. Not many, but just one game that I'm definitely gonna put up as soon as we get off on the air, and maybe a second one. So you could also check me out. My longer term passes, you'll definitely get your value on that. And that's that.
I love today's college basketball card. I just think it's a good one. It's like a small card, but it's a good day to bet college basketball. It's like flies under the radar because of all the money that's on the NBA. I mean, on the NFL. You get lighter money here on college basketball, so get some good lines. But anyways, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the drive-thru as well as next week here on this show.
Absolutely.
Best of luck today, Jovan.
You as well, Mitch.
Thank you. That's Jovan Burtz, and I didn't even think about that. I'm going to miss opening bowl weekend, possibly all of bowl season.
Wow.
Ouch. I'll have to decide exactly what we're going to do for that. Get Joe.
Well,
to be the Joe Madden show.
Yeah, we're going to miss you, Mitch. That's for sure. So you bring so much knowledge to college football.
Well, maybe I can appear from outer space.
Maybe you can just come in as a pitcher and a voice. That's always fun.
It's possible. We'll figure it out.
Or you can do some videos. We can tell you who everyone has. You can go against Al Ninos. I could have those videos all prepared.
I could just do. I could dress up like the pick dog.
There you go.
Anyway.
We'll make it work. Don't fear, you guys. You'll know exactly what Mitch is thinking for these bowl games.
Yeah, I'll have videos on all the games individually as well. But
absolutely.
Bringing Chris Ruffalo. It's been up since early this morning doing the European football show with Gordon and Ashley. Guys are kind of, you and Joe both do the European football shows. And, how are things going, Chris?
Doing well. I'm just picturing, the picture of Mitch, which is, how they have like sometimes dub in the lips where it's just the lips that move. The picture stays the same, but it's just the lips that talk. I think that's how we got to get this going for Mitch when he's away.
It'll be like Al Ninos, and it'll just say, I take the exact opposite. Like the cartoons are going, I'm on the other side. just take the exact opposite.
So you put a picture of the Queen of England, you just see images of, hello, give me the Bronco.
Oh, you officially get to do the voices for it then.
All right, I'll take it.
I like it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't worry, Mitch. We got this under control.
Yeah, Joe and I, we've got creative control on this. We'll be just fine.
Oh, I can see Mitch sweating already.
Uh-huh. It's either the studio lights or the thought of us dubbing in the Queen of England for a Pick Dogs appearance.
That could get
I think it's the second part.
Well, what do you got for us today, Chris?
All right. Well, for an NFL play, I'm going to be looking at this Cardinals and Bears NFL match. I'm still thinking about hockey. I've been looking at bets all morning, but I'm looking at the Cardinals and Bears, and I'll say it straight out. I'm looking at the under in this one. I think the weather just going to play a big part in the way that this game shakes out. I mean, got Kyler Murray, who is probable for this game, but even then, I'm not sure he's completely 100% right now. Maybe even at 90%. Still, the cold weather takes from me from playing football for a lot of years. In the cold weather, those hits hurt even more. And I think that if you see Kyler Murray get roughed up a few times, well, I think it's probably going to slow down the Cardinals' offense a little bit, and the Bears' offense. Andy Dalton, Justin Fields, it doesn't matter. The offense has been anemic. So, I think this is just a spot where you may see a lot of running the football from both sides. And either way, I see this one coming in under the number at 42. It started out 46.5, and it's plummeted since then. And to tell you the truth, I think it could even keep going a little bit further closer to game time, but I still love the under 42 in this one.
Joe?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we see a really low scoring one. Both these teams are going to run the ball, and I don't think the Bears score enough points. They're struggling to score, and they're 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 overall. I like the Cardinals to get the win here. Off that bye, I'm looking for their defensive line to just have a heyday on whichever quarterback we see in there, either Justin Fields or Andy Dalton. I'm not sure who we're going to see, but I think they have a huge day, and the Cardinals get the win, the cover, and we have a lower scoring one.
Yeah, it's a tight one, right? It's so tough because I could see the Cardinals' defense scoring points in this game too. I guess I guess I can lean with you in that direction too. I think based upon the ineptitude of the Bears,
Yeah.
I think that's really what it comes down to for me.
Yeah, it's still a little bit scary for me that they're still 4th worst in the NFL, but they're still only putting up 16.3 points per game. Like, how it could possibly get worse from there? But
I don't know. And they've done terrible against winning teams at home. They're 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 against winning teams at home here. So I can't touch the Bears.
Yeah, what's the status of Kyler Murray here?
I'm seeing probable.
Well, then he's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we seen who's going to start for the Bears?
Dalton.
If it is Dalton.
It's Dalton,
and yeah, and see, he's less mobile too. So
Joe's an Andy Dalton hater.
Well, with their defensive line for the Cardinals, they're going to sack. I wonder what the over-under is for sacks on Dalton today, because I would take it over. I think the Cardinals will have a big day getting him.
I think he's even picking himself up off the ground a lot today. I think that's definitely a safe wager, I think, for today's action, for this matchup anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what else you got going on, Chris?
I decided to give out another game today. I'm going to give out this Atlanta Hawks and Charlotte Hornets matchup, and I'm going to side with the Hawks in this one. The Hawks starting to look like the team that a lot of people expected them to look like coming into the year. 7-2 against the number in their last 9. Those 7 wins coming, as double-digit victories, and a lot of that's had to do with Trae Young and him stepping up his game. He's put up at least 30 in 5 straight, shooting 54% from the field, 46% from 3, 85% from the foul line. He's definitely taken over the game for the Hawks. Meanwhile, the Hornets, the defense has always been an issue for the Hornets this season. It's been the offense that's picked up the slack. They've also allowed the 5th most 3-point attempts per game. And they've given up more assists per game than anyone else in the league this season. I think this one's the Trae Young show, and I think that he comes out and helps the Hawks get to a win by at least 10 or 12 points. So I'm going to lay the points with the Hawks in this one.
I like the other side Joe?
Yeah, and this is one really I haven't dug into. Do you guys have any thoughts on the total? The under is 4-0 in their last 4 meetings. So that is one thing I might look at further for this one.
Yeah, for me, it's just a pure play on the other side, because it's like exactly all those reasons. It's like the public just going to be smothering, the public's just going to be smothering the Hawks here, because of all the guys that are out for the Hornets. And it's like, it's in the line, it's when guys are out, it's already in the line, and usually then some.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was capping this game based on the injuries. I was just seeing from how Trae Young's been performing lately, and I think he's just, like I said, I think he's just the one that helps take over this game for the Hawks, and just recency bias. Maybe that's going to be shooting myself in the foot, but the Hawks are banged up in their own right as well. But I think that there's just a better team in this one. I think they get the job done. I think Charlotte's defense or lack thereof is probably the difference for me in this one.
You're a foolish man. Anyways,
it's not the first time I've heard that from you either, so it won't be the last. I'm prepared for it.
Anyways, what do you got for sale tonight at Pick Dogs?
Today I got a bunch of stuff going on. I've got my my NFL black card play that you can put really any amount on, and it's coming back to you nothing but pure profit. I got that up for $29.95. Or I've got my Sunday Slam College Hoops 5-pack. My favorite 5 plays on the board from today's action, because this is a card that I zoned in on, and these are 5 plays I'm prepared to go 5-0 today. And I don't say that often, but that's how much I love these plays. So check those out. Also have my Sunday night side and total if you want to try to make some money back or finish the weekend strong. So definitely check out all that at Pick Dogs Premium, or like we always mention on these shows, the drive through the morning show, whatever. The best time for you guys to hop on long term is right now, because all the sports are coming together. You can get the most bang for your buck, whether it's just me or you're pairing me up with someone as part of the 2-for-1 capper deal. There's tons of options for you guys at Pick Dogs Premium. You just got to go and find them, so go over and check it out.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Chris. We'll see you every day on the drive-through, as well as on the show on the weekends and the soccer show, until we squeeze you out of that one. I think it's going to happen soon.
That's all right. I don't mind being squeezed out. That sounded really bad. I'm sorry I said that. Okay, I will see you guys. See you guys next week.
All right.
Best of luck today, Chris.
All right, Joe. Well, winding it down now. We've got just 2 cappers left. Of course, everyone knows who that is. We've got Rod and Brian.
I didn't realize we were just down to those guys. I thought we had someone else, but obviously I'm inventing people.
I don't think so. Let's see.
Oh, I think you're right now that I start going through the checklist in my head.
Yep. That's where we're at. So it's been...
Wow, the show's gone fast today. We've already been on an hour and a half, but it's gone in a blink to me.
Well, it's because you didn't do the soccer show this morning. So
that's probably why. Yeah.
Anyways, let's bring Rod in. Rod, how's it going?
Going great. Great day yesterday. Cannot complain. Baylor winning the Big 12 was huge. You were part of the VIP. I gave that out back in October to people who were part of our VIP show back in October. I even did it on a write-up. Take Baylor to win the Big 12, and they did that for me yesterday. That's plus 3,000 on that. So, yeah, I'm happy. The guys today. We finished off college football on fire, and it's 26-9-2 run.
Well,
so,
30,
definitely
there's still 35 games left, so not finished.
Well, it's regular season. Now we got the bowl season to go. So jump aboard. Yeah, I'm excited for bowl season.
You have a bowl package up?
Yeah, I got a bowl package up. You can pick that up over at Pick Dogs Premium.
There you go.
$200 to give you the rest of the bowl season.
Oh, that's a steal. It's like nickel a pick. Anyways, something like that. I don't know. It's 35 games, whatever.
35 games.
Wow.
$3.
34.5 cents a pick. Right? So, not bad.
Not much.
Can't even buy creamer for your coffee for that.
So,
what do you got going on today for a free pick for everyone?
So today, my free pick, we're going to go in the Dolphins game. You look, the Dolphins D is starting to step up and play some football. And this Giants, no, they'll be going with their backup quarterback in this one. And for me, so I think we got a lower scoring game on our hands here on this one. Points are definitely going to come at a premium in this one. You look Giants, their last 5 games, 5-0 to the under. They're also 9-1 their last 10 to the under, following an ATS win. Giants are also 26-1 their last 27 to the under. Dolphins 4-1 their last 5 to the under. The under is also 10-4 their last 14 as a home favorite. I like the under 40 in this one. Take the under. I think we got a lower scoring, hard hitting. And I think it's just because the Giants, how are they going to move the ball? How are they going to score? Going to be tough. I don't see a whole lot of scoring in this one. And if it is, it's one-sided. I lean the Dolphins in this one, but I like the under better. Give me the under. Dolphins, Giants.
Crappy game, Joe. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be a crappy game, but I think Miami's going to come out. I think they get the win. They get the cover. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Tua. I think he's completely underrated, and I think this line should actually be higher. You're giving me Miami at home against a backup quarterback with Daniel Jones out for the Giants. I think they win this one by 8-9 points. So give me Miami. I think they have a good game. Good game at home here.
I'm going to agree with Rod here on the under in this thing. I think we're not going to see a ton of scoring at all. I think it's going to be, close to the vest. The Giants, for some reason, always play conservative even when they're down. It's like it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me what they do. John Ross is probable here. He's their burner, but Shepard is doubtful here, and he's definitely the better receiver. Tony, doubtful for this one as well. These are the guys that have been the difference makers for the Giants when they do put points on the board. And, for the Dolphins, Waddle's, he's been dinged up all season, but looks like they get Devontae Parker back for this one, a guy who, he doesn't play much. So, if you're a Parker fan, today's the day to wear your jersey because he plays about one game a year, maybe 2. So, it's good work if you can get it. Of course, the Dolphins picked up Philip Lindsay, but he's injured already. So he's probably not going to play. So, this one, I could see a lower scoring game. I'm with you. Do you have another one for us, or you just...
I do. I'll throw you another one. Once we hit our hockey one, I'll give you guys another hockey. For me, let's still fade the Islanders like we did yesterday. Detroit got the win over the Islanders again, and we'll fade them again. The Islanders on the back-to-back. Blackhawks also on the back-to-back, but Blackhawks 8-1 their last 9 after scoring 2 goals or less in the previous game. And you look at the Islanders 1-10 their last 11 games. They're just struggling mightily. And the Blackhawks 8-3 the last 11 meetings versus this Islander team. So until the Islanders show me something, I'm going to keep fading them. And you're going to give me a nice plus price with the Blackhawks here. Give me the Blackhawks over the Islanders in this one.
All right. Well, what are you selling today? Pick Dogs?
And for me, over at Pick Dogs today, I've got my NFL Big Sunday ticket. You got a nice 5-pack of NFL plays over there. You can pick that up over at the premium side. Or I've got my Supreme Sunday, where you get all 9 of my best bets that I've got going today, which include my 5 NFL, 2 NHL, 1 college basketball, and 1 NBA that I absolutely love. And jump on over Pick Dogs Premium. If you like the NFL, it's there for you. If you like them all, jump aboard.
Jump on it. Rod's hottest run easily by far that he's ever been on since joining us at Pick Dogs. So jump on the bandwagon, as they say.
Jump on the bandwagon. Rolling along.
We'll see Rod, of course, in just a few minutes for our premium and VIP shows. So we'll see you in just a bit. All right.
Best of luck today, Rod.
Thanks, Joe. You too.
Thank you.
Joe, it leaves us just one more guest.
It does.
It's been you're right, pretty good pace show for the amount of people we've had on. Really.
Absolutely.
I think this is the most people we've ever had. It seems like it, right?
I think so. Yeah, great information. So you guys hit that thumbs up for all these cappers getting up early to talk to you on their Sunday morning.
And of course, when you're trying to, figure out, which cappers, you're in line with what you're trying to do in your sports betting, head on over to Pick Dogs. grab their month, grab their week, grab whatever. Really, that's what it's all about. I think they give out. Everyone tries to win every game, but the best bets are always the premium picks. So it's I get hammered a lot for my free picks, and it's like I give out free picks on every game. It's like
absolutely
you can go through every day and find the loser to hammer me on every day in my free picks. I mean, I have days where I run them, where I've run the whole NBA, or run the NFL, run whatever. But it's those are rare. They unfortunately, they are. It is what it is. But if you want people's best bets, the plays that they like the best, the plays that you're looking for, normally they'll say it in the package. A lot of them will say it includes this game. This is the game you're looking for. It's like, anyway, speaking of games, Brian, how you doing today?
Pretty good. And I know good ways to find handicappers. You go to pickdogs.com, you click on that leaderboard, and let's say you're looking for a college basketball guy or NFL guy, you click that leaderboard. You click, let's say, Rod Zawacki in hockey. You see Rod does 3 hockey plays a day or however many he does, and just find a guy that really fits in the amount of plays you want to play and the sport that those guys do best in. So you just got to use the leaderboard and check out how they pick games or how many the quantity per day.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that I plan on doing, for next year, and the stuff that Joe and I have talked about is more helping people navigate the website more and integrating that more into our shows, whether it be the betting tools, whether it be the leaderboards, whether it be, any of that stuff. Like on this show, we don't even show the leaderboards. It's like we should be showing that, each week and each guest. And, Tony does a better job at that than we do, but, Tony doesn't.
Tony's nicer too.
Yeah, maybe so, but Tony's not in the studio, for
I know
as many hours as
I got to bust your balls a little bit.
Oh, I understand, but we're going to change a lot of and this is the way that I always do things. It's kind of it's the same way I built my whole other business. That I no longer own. It's like I find somebody else that's capable of managing that, and they use my ideas and everything that I do, and they run it, and it's like. As long as my input's there, it's going to continue to be, successful for the most part.
Yeah, I'm going to try to build off of yesterday. I think today's has a nice card, potpourri of NBA, college basketball, NFL. So lots of stuff out there today.
What do you got for us for a free pick?
Oh, something that maybe we can argue about. I try to pick something.
What do you think of the total in the Steelers-Ravens game? I'm just kidding.
I didn't even look at one total in the NFL this year. Today, yesterday I had that big total win that I thought I was going to lose in the first quarter, but Wake Forest scared me in the first quarter. I think 35 total points was scored yesterday in the first quarter, but. Anyway, miraculously, it went under. But as far as the free pick I'm giving out today, I'm going to take the Detroit Lions here plus the points. I think Lions have turned into lovable losers here. And they have a legit shot, I think, to win outright today. Vikings, we saw come up short last week versus the Niners in a virtual must-win game. Vikings, though, still alive for a wild card spot. But the Lions have been overall very strong cover team, going 7-4 against the spread on the year. Vikings 0-6 against the spread versus a team with a losing record, and the Vikings are just 1-8 as a posted favorite against the spread. I think the Vikings are better as a team, not expected to win, than as a favorite of a touchdown here. So for me, I'm going to take the Detroit Lions plus the points. I think they come up just short again, and the Vikings win.
Joe?
I'm sorry, Brian. I have to disagree. I think this is going to be a completely lopsided game. I don't think the Lions are going to step up here. I know they have injuries as well. And I think the Vikings pick them apart in this one. I'm seeing a big game out of the Vikings easily covering the spread. The favorite 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 meetings. The Vikings are also 4-1 against the spread on the road. They play well on the road. And this Detroit Lions team, I just can't stand behind at all. Even though I would love to see them come out and get the win because I've got the future on the Texans, I don't think this is a spot even at home.
I'll tell you, I'm gonna parlay up the Lions, the Falcons, the Texans and the Jaguars today. It's like, I just think, today's the day. It's like there's so many points in there. I think you could even throw the Broncos in there, with those kind of things and give you a chance to maybe even hedge out, because I just think that the favorites just way aggressive on the favorites today. And I think, after, what happened yesterday in college football with a lot of favorites coming in, I think that the books are probably going to really take some names here today. I'm with you.
I just don't have confidence that the Vikings can. I don't have confidence that the Vikings can clobber anybody.
No,
on the road.
I think
they're a good, solid team. But.
Yeah, the Vikings are a miss the extra point team, is what they are. The Vikings are a miss the chip shot field goal team.
So they have a field goal to go up by 9 points, and they miss it off to the right.
Right, that's exactly what they do, and it's 28 yards. It's a chip shot, and it's like they're the miss the extra point team. They're that's what they are. Kind of what the Chargers have been, they become.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
just have way more faith in Kirk Cousins.
I have way more faith in Kirk Cousins. I have way more faith in Dalvin Cook. I have way more faith in Jefferson. I have way more faith in everybody. It's like the freaking Colts. It's like, it's the same thing. These guys.
That's my fantasy quarterback today. I got the Vikings.
Yeah, it's like I have more faith in the defense and everything. But it's the coach.
These coaches, I tell you,
everybody,
get their act together.
Yeah, it's like these coaches don't want to cover. They just don't want to cover spreads.
That's all for me as far as my picks go.
What are you selling then?
I'll tell you what, off a 4-1 yesterday, I'm going to try to follow it up with a good day today. I got my NFL blank check 3-pack, I believe it's called. I got my 3 NFL best bets, and they're all later games, I believe. Let me look here. Oh, no, there's one early game on it, but a good potpourri of games. If you want my college basketball best bet, I have that also for $30. I've started off college basketball on a red-hot run, and NBA. You can get my NBA best bet. So check out pickdogs.com premium picks. Pick up that NFL 3-pack or a 3-day pass and get all my picks today. Definitely going to try to get back up on that leaderboard.
Awesome. Joe, you have any picks for everyone today? Got a few games still no one over.
A few games. Which ones haven't we covered here? Let me just look at what we haven't covered.
Are they playing?
Yeah, and then
Rams, Jaguars.
Jaguars and Rams. That's just way too many points in that one. I think the Jaguars get the cover there. The Rams haven't been covering. They're 1-7 against the spread versus teams with losing records. They're also 0-5 in their last 5 games against spread overall. We didn't cover the Chargers game either. I know that as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I would take the Jaguars plus the points definitely in that. And then give me my Chargers, too. Sprinkle on that money line. I think the Bengals are in a bad situation for this game. We saw them off that game against the Steelers. I think this is kind of a letdown spot for them here today against this Chargers team. So give me the Chargers plus the points as well.
Yeah, I think that Chargers game is the most difficult game on the board for me.
Yeah.
I just can't get there one way or the other because I can make a case for both and I can make a case against both. But I think that the Rams, ever since they allowed all those points to the Texans in the second half, they've never been the same, and they haven't won since. And Matthew Stafford has been terrible. So it's like they put in the backup quarterback in that game, right? At 38-22.
Yeah.
Ever since that was on Halloween night. They've lost every game since then. And they've given up a ton of points since then. It was in the fourth quarter. It was 38-7, that game. It was 38-0. It was 38-0. They gave up 22 points in the fourth quarter and have never been the same since. They haven't, I don't believe they've led since then.
No.
So it's like you basically have practiced every play to win and to execute, and then all of a sudden, out on the field, you tell your team not to. It doesn't make any sense to me. And, and now we see them paying the price, giving up 36 points, 31 points, 28 points. Today, Trevor Lawrence.
It's going to be a hard day for them, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And then looking at the Chargers and Bengals game, I think the Chargers pass rush is going to have a great day against Joe Burrows and his offensive line. This offensive line has been collapsing again around Joe Burrows. They've allowed him to be sacked 13 times in the last month. I feel sorry for the quarterbacks when they're getting sacked this many times. And I just think this is going to be a letdown. They're 3-8 against the spread in their last 11 games following a straight up win.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. I've got a ton of college basketball out there today too. Brian mentioned college hoops. I've been decent. I haven't been like winning every game, but I'm not losing every game. Kind of just you know, I think I'm every day I'm plus a little bit, and I think that's part of what sports betting is. And today I got a bunch of picks out there too. I love today's college basketball card. I really love it. So I have a college basketball 5-pack today. So I'm into. I could have easily gotten every game on the card today. That's how much I love it. What do you think of Penn State today, Brian, against Ohio State? Do you have a
I looked at.
or-
No, I don't. Not at all.
Yeah, me neither.
I was looking at it, and I would take Penn State in that, but that line's moved about 2.5. If I was going to take a side, I would go with Penn State at home. I think they're better than people perceive them. I think it's a one possession contest with Penn State, but Ohio State's playing good basketball, so it's a lean to Penn State there. And yesterday, I'm kicking myself for missing out on Alabama because I forgot they were playing because of the college football.
Yeah, Penn State, I think, is easy money. I think money line might even be in order there in that one. With Ohio State coming off the Duke win, we've seen Ohio State on the road. It wasn't pretty at Xavier, and it's not like Xavier's killing people either. So I think certainly, I think the Duke game was a special situation. I think it was just a good half at home with some good calls, but Penn State not nearly as bad as they've looked. But
everybody gets up for Duke. That's like the Notre Dame in college football used to be. If you knock off Duke, that's a big deal.
I want to thank everyone for being on the show and for everyone watching today. It's been a great show, you guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, and have an awesome day. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to try and act more professional tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.